Thank you, Chris. Happy to be in this wonderful issue, and what a great place to read. This is first time here. Love this. This is a poem called Stroke, and it appears in Miramar on page 139. To the teacher in third grade who asked what we wanted to be, Julie said veterinarian, and I said conductor, and Billy made a woo-woo chugging sound. A dumpster in the alley whinnied and crunched, and a mower on the playing field across Maple made a smoothing sound, like it were working to connect the measures of a spring New Jersey afternoon to what would become a movement of anticipation. Each triangle of sunlight and shadow mixed in that high-ceilinged room, as if I were cardstock in a piece of spin art, a card clothespin to the fork of a bike, a card in a deck of photos that could be thumbed to tell a story, a motion picture of images moving behind the hands of their unscreening. And it is still not enough. I remember the fallout shelters on Nassau and Witherspoon, and in the cleaving homes on Hodge, the canned goods fashionably shelved between leaded walls, books, supplies, games, beds ordered and made, as if it were possible to shelter abundance. Wednesday afternoons, we listened to the air raid sirens and moved to the basement of school, waiting for silence to bloom. But it was not enough. The sound of breathing, dogs, traffic broke through. Each explosion of sound filled the dim rooms, squeak of souls overhead, whispers and diminished light. Not enough to survive the shape of darkness. There's a flutist in the Paseo this morning, 3,000 miles away. His music gathers between shops and cafes. How his song collects. Notes rising, glancing off walls, mixing with the sound of workers in kitchen, people at their plates, triangulating the moment into memory. The musician, one part of the history of everyone, playing that song, another moving inside its refrain. I am close enough to break the circle of my life, sitting on a bench in radiology, my 91-year-old father next to me in an open-back smock, waiting for a test for pneumonia. My hand circles his freckled bare shoulders and balding head, and I'm reaching back 60 years, touching him as he first touched me. He tells me how he's lived by the hands of men, boxers, gardeners, billiard stringers, enlisted men, doctors, pianists, and accountants, how he felt the hands offered to him, surrounded himself with their touch, warm, thin skin, sliding over bones, knuckles in a satin sack. His voice bent as the note of a velvety blues. I am close enough to taste the powdered western dirt at my feet, smell its flight as it whirls above sandstone and adobe, blows in circles like the music I hope to conduct. There is no place, no long words for what I hoped would be, not because the words don't exist or because they're not good enough, but because there are new words for the place that bodies meet, breath to gesture, stroke of skin on skin, skin on string, wind on reed, wind, beautiful wind in my face this morning, that becoming a bridge to be.